Hey, it's Mina, and in this video, we're going to talk about your future children. If you already have children, then this is a great video for you to find out more about the kids you already have. We're going to start out by figuring out how many children you'll have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus, or are you going to have multiples? And that just means like twins, triplets, etc. Then we'll figure out when you're going to have your children. What's going to be going on in your life when that happens? We'll pull a card and roll the astrodice for each child you're going to have to figure out what their astrological signs are going to be, as well as what their personalities are going to be like. Lastly, we'll look at your natural parenting style. Then I'll pull a card to see what your children need the most from you. All right, so take a look at each pile. And if you need some help picking, go ahead and close your eyes. We'll do a little meditation together. Take a deep breath in. On your out breath, release any expectations of this video. Let spirit guide you to the correct pile. And when you're ready, open up your eyes and choose pile 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Pause this video for as long as you need. When you have the pile you're looking for, check the description box below for the timestamps to jump directly to your pile. And if you would like a more specific reading on this topic, I do offer personal readings on my website, www.minanixtarot.com. All right, let's begin. Hey, pile number 1, if you chose this pile, then we're about to find out all about your future children. Let's start out by using the pendulum to see how many children you'll have. It looks like you're going to have 2 children. What's going to be going on in your life whenever your children arrive? The King of Pentacles. After a lot of hard work, your dreams are going to finally come true, and then you're kind of going to feel like everything in your life aligns and allows you to actually start the perfect family that you've been dreaming of. I get the sense that some sort of a career success will happen, and that's when you're going to decide, okay, it's time to take the plunge and have a child. How long will that be until that happens? The Six of Pentacles. Typically, when I do time, I look at pentacles as years. So this is basically saying in 6 years this will happen. Just know that kids aren't coming in your near future. This is going to be years of hard work that will pay off and allow you to start having your firstborn. Let's look at what each of your children are going to be like. So starting with your firstborn, the frog. And let's roll the astrodice to see what their sun, moon, and rising sign might be. Okay, so we have Capricorn, the sun, which is ruled by Leo, and the 4th house, which is ruled by Cancer. So they can have a sun, moon, and rising sign of Capricorn, Leo, or Cancer. And then let's talk about the frog personality type. So this is a person that is very earthy, but also draws some of its nourishment from the water. So that makes sense because we have the Capricorn here and the Cancer. So I would assume like a Capricorn sun, Cancer moon type of situation. They are kind of the master of 2 elements. They work a little bit too hard. They're very sensitive people. A lot of their issues are going to stem from not taking off enough time for themselves or being too worried that they have to fix it all too quickly. They just go and go and go until they can't go anymore, which makes sense because the Leo is very determined, and then the Capricorn is all about achieving the most success, and then with this Cancer here, they're going to want to help people at nauseam. All in all, this is a very hardworking, very caring child. So let's move on to your second child. The Swan. Let's roll the astrodice for your second child. We've got the 10th house or Capricorn, interesting. Saturn, which is also ruled by Capricorn, and then the Leo sign. Wow, Leo and Capricorn again for their sun, moon, and rising. So that's interesting. They're both having very similar sun, moon, and rising signs. So let's learn a little bit more about the swan. This child is very creative. They are very good at expressing themselves. They are good at writing and reflecting on things, and they kind of have this healing energy about them. This gives me like rainbow child vibes, if you know what that means. They're going to be able to help people with their inner workings or their inner child types of pain. I can see them as like a healer as they get older. They're going to be very interested in people's feelings and that everyone is treated fairly. On their bad days, they're going to be a bit agitated or snippy. They seem to take on other people's emotions. So if they have too much negative emotion, you're going to have to teach them how to deal with being an empath in the world as it is today, and help them deal with releasing some of that and knowing that not all that emotion is theirs to hold on to forever. So what's going to be your natural parenting style? The Six of Wands reversed. Parenting kind of scares you when it first arrives. You might be unsure of what you're doing at first. It can be hard not to push your kids into being the best that they can be. Just be sure that if your expectations are high for your kids, that you're holding yourself to that same moral code, because actions speak a lot louder than words, and what your kids see is more than likely going to be what they ultimately imitate. So what do your children need from you? The Six of Swords. I just wanted to point out that you have a very large amount of sixes. We have the Six of Pentacles, Six of Wands, and Six of Swords. And sixes to me mean harmony. So I can tell you're going to have a very loving home overall. However, it can take some perseverance on your part to get to that loving place, especially if your first child's going to be highly sensitive and your second child's going to be highly sensitive. If you are not already the type of person who is very empathetic, then it's going to be very difficult for you to understand why your children are so emotional at times. So just make sure you're keeping an open mind with them. They will rely on you as a parent to heal them and help them to solve their problems. They want your practical side. They're looking at you for how to solve problems because they just are all raw feelings sometimes, and they need you to add the logic into their life. Rely on your inner guidance. You were given these kids specifically for the purpose of helping them along their path. So there's no need to be nervous. No one is a perfect parent. There's no instruction manual. Just know that the universe wouldn't give you these children if they weren't for you to shape and mold. So don't be nervous going into it. Your kids really, really rely and trust on you to be the backbone in their world. These are all the messages I'm getting for you, group number 1. If this resonates with you, go ahead and give this video a like. Subscribe to my channel if you would like more pick a card videos as well as monthly horoscope readings. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, group number 2, if you chose this blue crystal here, then this message is for you regarding your future children. I'm going to start out by using the pendulum to see how many children you'll have. You're going to have 2 children. Let's talk about what's going to be happening in your life when you have your first child. The Fool. So you're going to be at the start of a new and welcomed beginning. They're going to be a part of that new journey for you. There's something about your firstborn that sparks a brighter, healthier life for you, and they're going to put you on the path that you were meant to be on. When is this going to happen? The Eight of Wands. I would assume those of you who have picked this pile have already had your first child, or you might be pregnant right now, because Eight of Wands to me translates to 8 days from now. So basically just saying it's going to happen very soon, or it's already happened. Or let's pull 2 cards to see what your kiddos are going to be like. So for your firstborn and secondborn. Your firstborn will be the Firefly. Let's see what their sun, moon, rising sign will be. We've got Virgo, the South Node, and the 11th house, which is represented by Aquarius. This could actually be saying that their South Node is Aquarius and Virgo, which just means that their life's purpose is going to be the opposite of those things, or it could be saying that their Sun, Moon, and Rising are going to be Virgo and Aquarius, but I want to focus back on that South Node thing. So if their South Node is Virgo, then they're supposed to be moving towards a more Pisces type of way. So their life goal would be helping people heal their past karma. They would be interested in the spirituality of the collective and working with the collective to increase spirituality. They're supposed to be working on living a more faith-based lifestyle and less of a I can do everything right. So when they're younger, they might be very, very controlling about the way things are done and feel that they have the most perfect method and way to do it and want to make sure that everything is perfect in their life. That might be a really hard thing for them to deal with when they're younger. Now, if their South Node is Aquarius, that means their North Node is going to be in Leo, which means they're supposed to move away from being all the center of attention or all giving away their power. So there's a balance between being selfish and being something that the collective needs. They're trying to learn their self-value throughout this lifetime and how much they're actually worth. So let's look at the Firefly card because I think this is going to help us direct our focus a little bit more. Firefly people, they tend to like start projects but not finish them. They get this like spark of excitement and then they have a hard time carrying it out all the way through. What's important for you to do as their parent is to help them capture that spark of creativity and keep persevering through it because they actually have this great ability to create wonderful, innovative type of things. They just struggle with not getting burnt out while they're on the path of it. They are good writers, brainstormers, and creators of all kinds. So just be aware that that is your firstborn's personality. So let's pull a card for your secondborn, the golden egg. And let's roll the astrodice for them. The 12th house, which is Pisces, the Pisces symbol, and Jupiter ruled by Sagittarius. So they can be a Pisces or Sagittarius sun, moon, and rising sign, which is very interesting. It's like fire-water combo, which is really, really cool, I think. Sagittarius are all about expanding and abundance and they are fairly confident people. They're really into philosophy and education and making the world a better place in general. And the Pisces energy, they're very empathetic and healing and the world can overwhelm them at times, definitely, and they can use a bit of escapism to get out of that. But this is a really cool combination because I feel like these two are going to help balance each other out a little bit. This child is going to be kind of more cool, calm, and collected. And then we pulled a spirit card for their personality type. The golden egg represents the fourth chakra, which is that heart chakra. So we know that helping guide people towards a healthy heart chakra is going to be a huge passion of theirs. They might be deep into spiritual practices. Sagittarius is pretty predictive of people who are accepting of more of a spiritual like path. So that might be something that they're very interested in is spiritual practice. So you might find at a young age they're interested in yoga and meditation. I would say they're probably an older soul. And so those things are going to feel more like home to them. They're going to be very concerned that everyone gets to speak what's on their heart. They're going to be very concerned about everyone getting not equal treatment, but fair treatment. This is going to be your little like social activist child here. And because of all this Pisces energy, they're highly empathetic as well. So all the feels and all the passion directed at making the world a better place. This is going to be a very strong presence that walks into your life. So let's discuss your natural parenting style here. The Hermit. It's possible you've been burned by the world in the past, and don't let that stifle your children, though. It can be very easy to overthink your parenting. It's a huge responsibility after all, but constantly second guessing yourself or not acting at all out of fear is just not going to get the right kind of message across to your children. And it's going to be a bit confusing for them. They will never know where the line is, what to expect, what you expect of them, or how to connect with you if that's the method that you take. It's important that you let your children fall down from time and time again because it helps them learn how to stand back up and what they're willing to fight for. Your house will be like a place of sanctuary for them. Do know that they need time to go out and experience some of the chaos in the world. So what do your children need from you? The King of Cups, They will need a strong example of how to control their emotions. They feel things very deeply, and your children will always want to share their thoughts and emotions with you, good or bad. So it's really important that you lead by example, showing them how you both feel, but also channel your emotions into something healthy. Don't dismiss their feelings. Each new situation they encounter is a bigger deal because it's new to them. When you're a child, everything feels very overwhelming because it's the first time it's happened for you. So help them identify their emotions and learn to express them in healthy ways. They need your calming influence, affection, and empathy more than ever. Take moments to create with your kids and allow them to express themselves through art, sport, music, anything that calls to them, anything that they want to participate in and create with. Be encouraging of that. All right, these are all the messages I have for you, group number 2. If this video resonates with you, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more pick-a-card videos as well as monthly horoscope readings. And I will see you next time. Bye. Hey, group number 3, if you picked this black crystal here, then this message is for you. Let's start out by using the pendulum to see how many children you're going to have. It looks like you're going to have multiples, so that means like twins, triplets. Let's see how many multiples you'll have. Okay, so it doesn't want to tell us how many, if it's going to be twins or triplet. It just keeps saying multiples. All right, that's the information it's going to give us. I'm going to pull then probably 2 cards just to kind of get an idea of what your children will be like. But first, let's start out with what's going to be going on in your life when you have your children. The Emperor reversed. Your first child arrives when you're feeling controlled by someone. Even though they might mean well, they're being very oppressive to you. You can stand up to them, but you need to make sure you do it in a logical way because logic is really what talks to them the most. And it's going to be the only thing that they respond to. So when is this going to happen? When will you have your first child? We've got the 8 of Cups here. To me, that means in 8 months from now. So you might already be pregnant or be on the verge of being pregnant. Of course, these are not exact times. That's kind of not how tarot works. It really doesn't pinpoint exact times. But this is saying that it's going to happen very soon after. Actually, I think this actually might be referring to this will happen very soon after you stand up to this person and get out of their clutches. That's when you'll have your firstborn child. Let's pull 2 cards just to get a sense of what these children are going to be like. So we've got Firefly and Tarantula. They're twins, so their sun, moon, and rising should be pretty similar, if not the same. We've got Pisces, the 9th house, or Sagittarius, makes sense with the fire here. And then Mars, which is Aries, a lot of fire. Aries, Sagittarius are both fire signs. Pisces is a water sign. Let's dig into some personality traits that they might have using the cards. So Tarantula and Firefly. Firefly energy is all about a spark of creativity that leads to something bigger. So every single thing that exists in the world was because creativity sparked in someone's mind and then they chose to pursue that thing and make it become a reality. So your child is going to be very good at bringing things into light. As for tarantula energy, they're going to be highly intuitive, which makes a lot of sense with the 2 fire signs here because fire signs tend to be able to trust their gut a lot more. So they're going to trust their gut. They're much more patient and calm than you're going to see in your average fire sign. They kind of have this, it's all going to work out type of mentality, which might drive you a little bit crazy, especially because you've had to fight so hard to get out of a bad situation. You might be like, how do you know it's all going to work out okay? You never know what's going to happen to you, but they're just going to be like, it's all fine, I have these dreams and goals and everything is going to work out okay, which is kind of awesome for them. Good for them. All right, what's your natural parenting style going to be? The 9 of Swords reversed. They were the beginning of a better life for you. You never judge your kids, but you sometimes have remorse for the way that you've raised them. And I think this just comes from this oppressive person who made you feel like you can't do anything right. You tend to be overly helpful to the point of burning yourself out, and that's when you can get a little bit snappy with your kiddos. Remember, taking time for yourself and learning to identify when it's too much is going to be the key to help keeping your home balanced. So what do your children need from you? The Five of Swords. Your children are going to need a more hands-off approach. They are the types that need to discover things for themselves. So any form of aggression is just going to backfire with them and make things even worse for the two of you. And it might drive a wedge in between your relationship. They have to learn to advocate and stand up for themselves in this life. So expect some little fighters. Expect people, expect these little beings who like go through life figuring it out and standing up for what they believe in, and sometimes getting in a situation that might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, but for them it's very important along their path. They're not
Looks
going to
like
take anything
multiples.
lying
Let's spin it
down.
again
They
to
need to
see if it's
accomplish what you
twins, triplets,
accomplished before you
etc.
were born. And so I feel like that's the reason why they've been given to you to help them learn to stand up for themselves and not be in a situation of oppression like you were in before. These are all the messages I'm getting for you, group number 3. If this video resonates with you, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more pick a card videos as well as monthly horoscope readings, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Hey, group number 4.
If you chose the clear crystal, then this is your reading
On what your future children will be like.
Let's start out by asking the pendulum how many children you'll have. Okay, it looks like you'll have one child. Let's talk about what's going to be going on in your life whenever you have this child. The Page of Wands. Your child comes to you in a time of huge excitement in your life. You're feeling like your best self and creativity is flowing. How long will it take before you have a child? The 10 of Cups, or 10 months from now. So some of you may be already planning to have a family, and that's why you clicked on this video. I do want to note that the 10 of Cups also is indicating like after the recovery of a traumatic event. If something traumatic has recently happened to you, then this is probably going to be the time when you're getting ready to have children. But either way, it's happening fairly soon. Let's pull a card to see what your child will be like. The Sea Serpent. Let's roll the astrodice to see what their sun, moon, and rising sign will be. So we've got the 12th house, which is Pisces, and then Scorpio. We also have North Node. So this could be telling us that their North Node will be Scorpio or Pisces, which is the direction their life energy is supposed to move into. So what they're supposed to learn while they're here on this earth. So if their North Node is Pisces, then that means that they are supposed to learn how to be more open with spirituality. They're going to learn how to help the world evolve. They're going to be very focused on creating bigger, better things for the greater good and not trying to control things. Just know that the universe has their back. If their North Node is in Scorpio, then their soul is really going to crave personal transformation, and transforming themselves is going to be very important. They're also going to be very musically inclined or artistic in some way. They want to care for themselves, and they're really independent children. They like kind of luxury items. The sea serpent represents the sacral chakra, so they're going to be very interested again in creativity and emotions and expressing themselves. The art and the things that they make are going to be very influential to other people and bring up emotions and sort of heal others around them in some kind of a way. So what's going to be your natural parenting style? The 10 of Swords reversed. You're the parent that helps your child through difficult times. You're the rock. You're the thing that makes everything seem all better for them. You let them know that you also have fears and anxieties that you deal with on a daily basis, and you're not perfect. You just try to be the thing that they can always count on. So you're not the type of parent who's going to act like they're perfect or tell their children they're perfect. You're going to let them know that you're a human too who also makes mistakes. And part of what you want to do is show them what to do once they do make mistakes or how to feel good about themselves. Seems like you fought really hard to have a better self-esteem, and you're definitely one that's wanting to share that and help your child have a better self-esteem as well. For what your child needs from you, the Ten of Cups. They need you to love and respect them. They need their home to be a place of balance and harmony where all peoples and ideas are respected and welcome. You're going to be great friends with your children as they get older. They're going to continue to rely on you into adulthood. So, this is all in all a very good, positive relationship. And as an only child, I think that's really valuable and important that they have that kind of relationship with you. All right, these are all the messages I'm getting for you, group number 4. If this video resonates with you, go ahead and give it a like. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like more pick a card videos as well as monthly horoscope readings, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hey, group number 5, if you chose this stone, then this is your message on what your future children will be like. Let's start by using the pendulum to see how many children you're going to have. So it looks like you're going to have multiples, so twins or triplets, quadruplets, and the likes. Let's spin it again to see which type of multiples. Okay, so I think maybe you're going to have like a set of multiples and then one additional child is what that's saying. So they're not ready to tell us if it's going to be twins or triplets. It's just saying, yes, you're going to have multiples and then you're also going to have one child as well. I don't know. My guess, I'm honestly feeling like 3 is the correct answer, 3 children. So let's go ahead and figure out what's going to be going on in your life when you have your first child. The Queen of Swords reversed. Your firstborn comes to you when you're in a time of your life where you feel like the world is just being too critical of you. You might have struggled with infertility before this child appears in your life, and you feel like you're ready to give up when lo and behold, there they are, the new hope in your life. Don't give up if you are struggling with infertility issues. This is definitely going to come to you at a time when it's ready. And I guess that makes sense why you have multiples, because that happens a lot of times when we use fertility treatments that people can get multiples. When will this happen for you? The Queen of Pentacles, so that means 13 years from now. So I take it that if you pick this file, you're probably pretty young, and so you're not in a state to have children just yet. But let's go ahead and pull a card for each of your kids. I'm going to pull 3 because I'm really getting the vibe that you are going to have 3 children. This might also mean that you're going to have like 2 kids back to back and then 1 kid much later after them. I could see that as being a possibility too. So the bat, and let's see what sun, moon, rising sign they'll have. The 6th house, which is Virgo, the actual Virgo symbol, as well as the North Node symbol. So this child is going to have a lot of Virgo energy. It could also mean that they have a Virgo North Node, meaning that they are trying to move towards a more Virgo styled path. Go ahead and Google that if you're not sure like what North Nodes are. It's actually really interesting. It'd be great for you to look it up for yourself and your spouse, person you're dating. Like I find that North Node and South Node are just as important as like someone's sun and moon sign. So it's definitely something you want to look into. This could also just be saying that they have a Virgo sun, moon, or rising, in which case they're going to be very focused on their daily routine, their health, their day to day. They're going to be very career oriented and they're going to like to achieve a lot. They also really value like getting things perfect and can be very critical on themselves. Let's read about the bat to get more information about this child. Yeah, this child's going to be all about balance and life balance and accepting things the way that they are, which can be quite difficult for a Virgo to really accept things in the status quo, and their job is to kind of push things and to make things grow into even better. They're critical on themselves and they're critical of others because they're just hoping to make the world a better place. They're very traditionalist, so it's going to be really important when they're younger that people are accepted and that people are loved, and that's going to be a big focus for them. Adjusting is going to be a huge life lesson for them, learning to adjust to things. So this is going to be a child who might be a bit stubborn. I think all in all is going to be very successful as an adult. All right, and for your next child, we have the tiger. Let's roll the dice to figure out their sun, moon, and rising sign. So we have Jupiter represented by Sagittarius, the eighth house represented by Scorpio, and then the Scorpio symbol. So Scorpio, Sagittarius energy from this kiddo. So like that water fire balance, which is really great. Sagittarius would be all about travel and new cultures and learning from new people that aren't necessarily like them. They're very concerned with ethics and what's ethically correct. They're the social activists of this world. And then Scorpios are very determined, highly emotional. They can sometimes come off as aggressive, but I feel like they're just so overly empathetic that it kind of weighs on them from time to time. They're also very like mysterious and kind of like draw people in. They have like this quiet charisma about them. So let's read about the tiger to get more insight into this. They have a more feminine energy about them. This doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to be a girl, but they are much more nurturing. They are much more receptive. They're more accepting of other types of people. And they really are kind of this calm sort of person. They're passionate, they're strong, but they're also calm and they wait and they kind of are very affected by the changes of the moon. So I guess the water stuff over here makes a lot of sense for them as well. So that would be your second child. And then your third child, the dragonfly. Let's roll to see their sun, moon, and rising. All right, so we've got the sun represented by Leo, the fourth house, which is Cancer, and then Aquarius. So Aquarius, Leo, and Cancer, sun, moon, and rising sign. This is a really interesting one. So you've got air and water and fire, air, water, and fire, which all together makes them a little bit more balanced, I feel, because they're going to have all three of these elements really represented. But Aquarius typically are very interested in technology and future and moving towards the future. Cancers are very empathetic, very nurturing, emotional energy, and then Leos are very confident, determined. It doesn't necessarily mean extroverted. I know way more introverted Leos than I know extroverted Leos, but they really draw people into them and they can be very determined leaders at times. This is a really interesting combo. I want to read about the dragonfly here so that we can get more information about this child. They're very in their head. Their brain moves a mile a minute, which makes sense with the Aquarius one. I would say their mental clarity is difficult for them, and a big challenge in their life is going to be focusing their mental the chaos that's going on. And then once they do, they have the empathy and the fire determination to really get stuff done. So if you as their parent can really help them with this kind of more sporadic brain, then they're really going to be rocking and rolling in their adult life. But yeah, they definitely have a busy mind. It's hard for them to focus, but they're very happy. And when they do focus, they have this very clear, direct vision. And they're kind of those types of kids that you're like, wow, that was very insightful for your age. They say some very adult, insightful types of things, and they'll catch you off guard now and again. All right, so what's going to be your natural parenting style? The Seven of Cups. You love to give your children choices. You're not an authoritarian parent at all, but you're always curious about their opinions and value their voice. However, it might also be important for you to be realistic about what your child is actually capable of choosing. Sometimes they do need you to interfere and give them the right answer. This doesn't mean that you aren't being empathetic. It's just important for you to use some of your life experience to make sure that they're getting the best experiences out of their life. For example, if you're giving your child the choice of what to eat, it can be hard if there are infinite possibilities. And then what if they choose something like cake for breakfast? Well, cake for breakfast is not horrible every morning. I mean, we've all done it. We've all lived our lives. But if they're constantly eating cake for breakfast and they're not really getting that nutritional value, that start to their breakfast, what might be better is to give them the choice between eggs and fruit or peanut butter and banana toast with a small side of yogurt. That way they're still getting their choice, but the choices are limited to things that are positive and going to be healthy for them. Then when they get older, you can even pull back the reins even more and sort of start to give them those infinite choices. You're very good at that, which I think is really rare. A lot of parents want to hold on as tight as they can, but you're good at seeing your child as an individual being with a voice. So kudos to you. That's pretty incredible. Four of Swords reversed is what your children need from you. Your children just simply need you to be there for them. They need to know that you'll be on their side and love them no matter what and comfort them when it all feels like it's getting to be too much. I expect the teenage years are going to be very emotional in your household. I mean, whose household are the teenage years not emotional for? But I just feel like a lot of their struggles with anxiety are going to come out. It's important for you to let them know that all their emotions are valid. I would say family meditation in your household is going to be a major game changer, and it's going to be very helpful for your kids moving forward. These are all the messages I have for you, group number 5. If this video resonates with you, go ahead and give it a like. Subscribe to my channel for more pick a card videos as well as monthly horoscope readings, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hey, group number 6, if you chose the aventurine, then this is your reading on your future children. We're going to start off by using the pendulum to see how many children you're going to have. All right, it looks like you'll be having one child. What's going to be going on in your life whenever you have your child? We have the devil reversed. Your first child comes to you in a time when you are taking your life back. The devil card reversed can even mean recovering from some kind of addiction or mental illness, but for the vast majority of you, this comes at a time when you are adamant about turning your life around. How long will it take for this to happen? We have the Knight of Cups, which means in about 12 months, so not super soon. Don't take this number literally. Not super soon, but it is around the corner. I think you still have some figuring your life out to do at this point before you can have a child, but we're quite close to that age of being ready to have your child come into your life. So let's pull a card to see what their personality is going to be like. All right, you got the Firefly. Let's roll the dice to see what their sun, moon, and rising sign might be. We've got the second house, which is Taurus, Gemini, and Uranus, which is ruled by Aquarius. So Gemini, Aquarius, and Taurus energy. So lots of air there, which means they're going to be very intellectual. But we've got this Taurus energy here, which is kind of that earthy grounding type of energy. This is a practical child. You know, they're going to be that tiny little adult child that we talk about where it's like, oh, wow, you're like a 80-year-old man in a 2-year-old's body kind of deal. Let's talk about the Firefly card here. This will give us some more insight into their personality as well. They're going to be like a source of really great ideas. They're kind of, like I said, they're wise beyond their years, and so they have just infinite amounts of ideas, and it's almost like you can rely on them as much as they rely on you. And I see your relationship as being very strong and connected to one another. You really had them. This was a definite like preempted before you both came to earth. They were going to be your child. Like this is such a karmic type of relationship. It's going to be very beautiful to see. So what kind of parenting style are you going to have? The Fool reversed. You're reluctant to be a parent at first, worried that your it's just going to make you reckless again or send you off the deep end. So when you first hear of your pregnancy, you're kind of like, oh, I just recovered from a huge issue in my life and I'm finally getting my life together. And is this going to keep me off balance? It's not. Like I said, you guys are going to be very bonded here and they are really going to be a source of stability for you, as insane as that sounds, because usually parenthood completely like blows someone's life and changes it entirely. They're going to again change your life for the better here. You lack confidence in the beginning of your parenting, so it's a bit of a rocky start, but as you get to know your child, I feel like they're going to feel like home to you. They're going to feel like someone who is meant to be in your life. What does your child need from you? The Ace of Wands. All your kids really need from you is for you to take action, just any action. They need to see you pursuing your passions and being bold. They need spontaneity. They crave days of silly fun. They're like, they're pretty creative with like their play, so they're really going to want you to play with them, especially as an only child. This doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have to spend a ton of money to have fun with them, but they really just want to know that you want to spend time with them. They're going to bring you a lot of love in return. These are all the messages I have for you, group number 6. If this video resonates with you, go ahead and give it a like. Subscribe to my channel for more pick-a-card readings, as well as monthly horoscope readings, and I will see you next time. Bye!